It hasn't quite worked out for Memphis Depay so far at Manchester United. He arrived as a really, really exciting signing. I was buzzing for it. He was PSV's top goal scorer, but he hasn't really kicked on at Manchester United in the same fashion as he was kicking on in the Eredivisie. You know, some players struggle in their first year, so you always get that grace period. But going into his second season, he's not getting many opportunities under Jose Mourinho. Is that down to his own lack of application in training, a poor attitude, or is that simply down to the fact that Mourinho doesn't like him? Let me know what you think in the comments below. But something that's happened this week is he's been linked heavily with a move to Everton. Lots of reports coming out that maybe Memphis could be joining Everton in January. And Ronald Koeman, Everton's manager, has not helped that by simply talking about Memphis, basically saying, I'd like to sign Memphis, he's a good player. He's not been getting enough minutes at Man United. And now Memphis himself has been talking about his future, saying he's happy coming back to Man United after scoring 2 goals for Netherlands against Luxembourg, his first brace for his country. And he's also not ruling out an exit. He's just basically saying he's going to keep his head down, but he can't rule it out. Everton themselves did a tweet over the weekend mentioning Yannick Bolasie being in action during the international break, and also mentioning Memphis being in action. Now, I don't know why they would do that, other than the fact it's going to fuel speculation now, which is exactly what it has done. Do you think there is a real chance of Memphis joining Everton in January on loan, or maybe even a permanent transfer? I think there is a chance it could happen, and here's why. You know, Memphis hasn't been getting much time at Man United, and it doesn't really look like he's going to get it. You know, as I was saying in Jose Mourinho being right to criticise Man United's players and their attitudes, I feel Memphis falls into the wrong category in that respect. There are certain players who, when they join a big club like Man United, they feel like they've already made it. And I get the impression that Memphis gets that. You know, he's got the big move, he's got the big money, he seems to have taken his foot off the gas after arriving at United, instead of the other way around where he's thinking, right, I'm now at the bottom of the food chain again, I've got to work even harder to get to the top of this food chain, because he was the big dog at PSV. They've got all of his personal records on the PSV gym machines because he set the benchmark at PSV. And I think he may have come into United expecting to be settling quicker than he was and basically repeating the exact same level of football without putting any more work in. Hasn't worked out for him like that. So I do think his attitude has part to do with his problems at United. But second of all, he hasn't been getting enough game time. That's part and parcel. You know, there's certain games where he comes on, I don't know, United are 1-0 down or 1-0 up with 10 minutes to go, and he's expected to change the game. And he hasn't, and when he hasn't, fans get very frustrated with him. And it's such a catch-22 situation for a player that doesn't get many minutes, that when he does get minutes, fans expect instant results, and that's not how footballers generally work. They take time to get back into form. And Memphis is clearly a confidence player, but I think at this stage now, it's not just about confidence. I think it's got to come from his attitude, his application in training, because to get the opportunities, you need to be given them, and you have to earn them. And do I think Memphis has done enough? Maybe not, because he hasn't been playing much. There's clearly something going wrong along the line, whether that's Jose Mourinho not liking him not being happy at Man United, him not putting enough effort in training, and his performances when he's actually on the pitch are not good enough either. But would Everton be a good move for Memphis? On loan, I don't think it could harm him, because he isn't getting enough game time at United anyway. It's a Premier League club, it's just around the corner, obviously Merseyside, so he wouldn't have to go far. So in terms of uprooting him, it would keep him in the Premier League in a competitive club with a decent manager, and maybe Koeman could get the most out of him, because Memphis has all the attributes needed to be a top draw player. We all know that. But we haven't seen that potential fulfilled in England so far. Will that come under Mourinho at Man United? I don't think it will. At least not in this season. It doesn't seem that Mourinho likes him or trusts him. And that goes, every player needs a manager's trust. If you don't have the manager's trust, you won't get played. Koeman's already said he wants him. So maybe that is a right sort of move for half a season to try and re-energise Memphis and get the most out of him. But he looked good when he came on for Netherlands against Luxembourg at the weekend. Came on at half-time. Netherlands was struggling against a poor Luxembourg team. Memphis came on, got a header off a Daily Blind cross to make it 2-1 and scored a free kick to make it 3-1. Hopefully that's a confidence boost that he needs. But let me know what you think about the potential of Memphis joining Everton on loan. Do you think it will be a good move in January? Or do we need to hold on to him and give him more game time and try and get more out of him ourselves? Let me know in the comments below. As always, drop a like on the video and subscribe to United People's TV if you're new, and we'll see you soon.